All right, so Sakila and I would like to greet you guys in the FOSS Asia back again after a 1-year-long hiatus. If just now I mentioned Sakila, do you know who Sakila is? Anyone know who Sakila is? You guys know definitely. Okay, Sakila is the one on the picture here. It is our logo, the dolphin. Our dolphin is named Sakila, so it is a female dolphin. So fall in love with it. All right. So as you know, at this moment, IoT is the trend. IoT and big data. But behind any great application on IoT and big data, there is always a reliable and great database, right? You need database for a lot of things. Now, if you know that at this moment MySQL already come up to 5.7. 5.7 came out like about October last year, right? So what is it in the 5.7 that want to intrigue you? We have a lot of improvements, like as in tradition of MySQL, we always have huge improvement for every major version. Every major version we always target around 18 months between the version. So right now, as you can see, we have 5.7 and a lot of improvement, especially 3 times faster than MySQL 5.6 earlier. Enhanced InnoDB. I will talk more about this later on in more detail. Replication, optimizer costs. And the big thing here in 5.7 is this. JSON support. We started to support JSON data type, native. Last time people used to store JSON in text data type. Now they no longer need that. Okay. Now in MySQL 5.7 we do a lot of work in it. We have a lot of work logs implemented, MTR tests, bugs fixed as 2,800. So this is all because of our open source community contribution as well. They all review. You guys actually, some of you guys here might have contributed to MySQL as well. You guys review. You guys help us test the beta release and alpha release, and so we can come up GA on time. Right, and then just now we talk about performance. Now performance, this is one of the benchmark we did for 5.5, 5.6, and 5.7. So as you can see here, the difference in speed, in performance, is huge. This is a benchmark on SQL point selects. So as you can see here, this is 5.6. This is 5.7, which is reaching 1.6 million QPS on a 4-socket 18-core machine, which is 72 core total. Connection request. This benchmark is measuring on how fast connection is being done within MySQL. So this is what they do is connect, reconnect, connect, reconnect, connect, disconnect, connect, disconnect, right? So at this moment, 5.7, we did a lot of improvements. We actually reached 100,000 connect per second. And in Sysbench benchmark, okay, I missed this. This is supposed to be read. Okay, this is read only. This is read write. So as you can see, we did have a lot of improvements in OLTP transactional Sysbench against our predecessor. And okay, now this is to show you how scalable we are. 5.6 last time was dubbed to scale up to 60 core. Right now, we are 5.7. We are able to scale up to, not up to. In this case, we only benchmark it on the 72 core system. So as you can see, this is the graph that we have. If you see this graph, what do you think? If we put more core, do you think it will go up? Do you think it will go up? Anyone? Maybe, maybe not. But if this look like this, like, yeah, maybe there's a big possibility that it might still scale. Okay. All right. So, starting from the optimizer. Now the improvement in the optimizer. So as you might already know, optimizer, you need optimizer. In every database, we have optimizer to optimize your query, to find the way, the best optimized way to run and access your tables and grab your data, right? So in 5.7 optimizer, we already adopted the cost method, the cost-based method. So we make it more optimized. It's smarter now. On top of that, we have JSON explain. If you know about our optimizer, you have you can do, okay, basically, and at every query you can do explain plan, when you can actually see or how the data being accessed by this query, right? Anyone of you have used this before, right? Okay. Now this explain plan, you can actually now we have improved it. You can actually see it in graphic with our Workbench. If anyone have used Workbench, our development tool is also open source, community edition. It's free to use. Okay. Now we have generated columns. I can talk a lot about this, but I only have 20 minutes. So if anyone wants to talk more about this, come to our exhibits later, and we can talk more about some specific feature that you guys want. But at this moment, I just go through the list. Support for InnoDB, better support for GIS as well. Query rewrite plugin. This is one of the cool plugin that we have. This is to rewrite your query. Where do you think this is used? This is used when, for example, you have already developed your application. It's done, then it's already, so let's say it's already production. Now, if you want to, then you realize that, hey, this there is some query that actually can be optimized, and I need to change the query. But as you know, if you want to roll out in production, you need to do a lot of changes on the apps, and this is pretty troublesome. So in this case, what you do is you can actually change it, use this query rewrite. So every time this query comes in, it will be replaced by the new query that you put here in the plugin. So it does not need you to actually change the coding in the apps. You can actually put it and program in the database layer. Okay. And also, if you realize that that you want to make the query faster, you can actually add hints in the query rewrite. Means your apps is clean. There is no hint that you use at all. All the hints is just added after the query comes into the database. Right. JSON. This is the biggest feature in MySQL 5.7. JSON data type now we support native, means that you can actually index it, you can actually search it. It's all in the form of JSON format. No more in text, right? So as you can see here, this is the difference in search, the query time. Normally, last time, without the JSON support, we put JSON in text. So text data type, you normally you need about this much time to query. JSON data type is only this much. Index is even much faster. You see? So if you guys see the need to use JSON, be my guest, try out MySQL 5.7. It's available for download already. Now, SysSchema. SysSchema is basically, we talk about ability, how should I say, it's basically a snapshot of information on performance of your database. So in case you have you have an issue in I/O, which table actually causing it? You want to know that. You can actually check from this SysSchema. This SysSchema is actually a bunch of views that shows you all this information. Which one is the top I/O hotspot? Which one is what is the slowest query in your database? And many more. So you can check it out here. This is also available in, you can see in Workbench as well. You can install from there. But in 5.7, it's already installed by default. It's similar to Oracle Feedoller, Microsoft SQL if you guys use it. But you guys not using it because we all open source. Okay. Right, GIS. We have improvement on using a boost.geometry. Anyone here using GIS feature? No. Okay. InnoDB improvements. Now we started to support native partitioning. Means that last time we use each one handler for each partition. So in this case, because we support native partitioning now, we only use one handler for one table. So this makes it more efficient in the way that how it's safe on memory to manage to handle the partitions. Full text search, we support now the search on Chinese, Japanese, and Korea language. Special indexes, support for 32K, 64K pages, InnoDB pages. General tablespace support. If you guys remember that in 5.6, our direction is going to one table for one data file, one tablespace, right? Last time. So now we actually provide also flexibility for you guys to actually use general tablespace. Means that you can actually also again put several tables into one tablespace. So you have this option as well. But on the other hand, you can also use one table per one tablespace. It's up to you. Now we give you more flexibility. Group replication I will talk later. Support for cache preloading, storage footprint, InnoDB fill factor. That will be you can ask me when you come to my exhibit. Bulk data load performance improved. Resize. Okay. Now more and more processing we can do online. Let's say in InnoDB. Now we support changing InnoDB buffer pool online. So you don't actually need to restart your MySQL anymore. Last time you still need to. Now no more. We have separate undo table space. Now, for those people that is very aware of how should I say, is very adept with database, undo table space is very important. So because this is ability for you to do a rollback, right? Whenever you want to roll back transactions, right? Now the undo table space we can actually split it now on a different location. So you can actually put in, let's say you put it in a different disk volume. So make this disk volume that contain your data relief from the burden of running the undo table space as well. Because this undo can be really hard, can be a hotspot. especially if you have a high workload, high payload of your database. Enlarge, rename index can be done online as well. Enlarge, now we can enlarge a varchar data type column online as well. Okay. InnoDB bulk load for index creation. Right now we have a much faster index creation. InnoDB fill factor. I'm not going to talk much about this. If you have questions, I can come to my exhibit. Replication. Now, in replication, we have a big improvements. Why? It's basically in 5.7 we are following up from what 5.6 have left us. We have GTID. So what is GTID? GTID means GTID stands for Global Transaction ID. So in the whole replication system, if we use Global Transaction ID, that means every transaction in the whole replication system only have one ID. What it means is that it will make it easy for any one of these system in the replication to know how much it is lagging behind the master. So this allows us to do what we call self-healing replication. Last time before 5.6, whenever you have a network disconnection, you might need to manually restore, fix the replication, and this takes time because between the master and the slave, this is the log file and log position is different. When you come to this, we'll have everyone sharing the same ID. So the slave know, hey, let's say the master is 10, the slave is 5. Okay, I'm missing 5 latest transaction. So I'm just pulling the last 5 transactions. Easy, right? Enhanced semi-synchronous replication is, we call it lossless now because semi-synchronous means that we actually make sure that the slave, that the changes is already sent to the slave server. Now in this case, we improve it a little bit further. Every transaction comes into master. We will make sure that change go to the slave server first before we commit in the master. So this makes sure that if there is no acknowledgement coming from the slave, so we never commit the transaction. So people that see the slave and see the master will not see different data. Okay, multi-source replication, I'll talk about it later. Dynamic slave filters, not really okay. GTID now we can enable GTID online. GTID online, so you don't need to restart MySQL again when you want to enable it, GTID. Last time we need to in 5.6, now no more. Now this might probably be the one of the biggest break into our replication, which is multi-source replication. Last time, traditionally, replication can only have one master, right? And you can have as many slaves as you want, but at most you can only have one master. Now, in this case, we actually make it push it a little bit further. We can have a lot of master, one slave. Where do you need this? Where do you need what kind of case do you think you can use this? It's where you need to consolidate. Let's say you have let's say your end user, maybe your client, have a lot of supermarkets. Let's say supermarkets around, let's say Singapore. That we have 20 branches, and then these 20 branches, each of them has their own POS, retail applications, right? So what they do with this is that on the headquarters, we have a consolidated centralized database. So all these 20 branches will actually send the data through replication and all consolidate in the HQ, in the headquarters. So the headquarters can run analytic, reporting, and everything. It's all done using MySQL technology. Right, high availability improvements, tracking session, transaction version tokens. We have a lot of things. One of the interesting stuff is MySQL Pump. MySQL Pump is as you know, you have MySQL DAM last time. Now we have MySQL Pump. MySQL Pump, the notable benefit is that you can run in parallel. When you do export, you can run in parallel. So it's faster than MySQL dump. Right? Group replication. This is, by the way, this is still in labs. This is also one of the greatest thing that we are waiting to have out there. That in this case, we can have, let's say, 3 servers, right? Everyone will be updated to each other. So we have, this is a form of HA, replication-based high availability architecture. If you heard about, anyone here heard about Galera before? Yeah, okay. ExtraDB cluster? Okay, this is similar to that. Is exactly providing 3, let's say 3 duplicates. So any one of them you can actually shoot, your application can shoot and write and select, update, and anything. They will update each other at the back. This is a very cool feature that will come. We are targeting maybe around a few 6 to 9 months from now maybe, but don't take my word for it, because there is no guarantee here. We might make it faster. We might make it a little bit later. Router, right? MySQL router. Now you don't actually need to have a router, or let's say you don't actually need HA proxy anymore. If you know what I mean, to do load balancing, right? We actually have our own product, MySQL router. This is also open source. You can use it anyhow, anywhere, anytime, right? Transaction. It is based on you can use load balance based on round robin or any other thing. It can even do aggregate as well. So that means 80% to first server, 20% to the second server. You can do that. Right? This is the MySQL router. Now the good thing about this is that this is extensible architecture. Means that you can actually develop your own plugin and put it there. You see, you can actually, it's like, let's say you want something more than just 80, just aggregate and doing round robin. You have your own algorithm. You can actually write your own and put it there. Okay, so it's extensible. Okay, the organizer already tell me to cut it off. Then this is just my last slide. We are available in repos. All Linux, we are available. You can just download the repos there. We are also on GitHub as well. So this is my last slide. Any questions?
Okay, just one question.
One question.
While next speaker sets up.
Okay.